Billions could flow through cryptos like Stellar XLM and Zion coins will benefit. How am I deriving at that? How am I getting to that conclusion? Before all of that, please like, subscribe. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and I can keep delivering more and more content like this to you more frequently. Now, we need to put something straight. We need to talk about SVB, Signature Bank. Okay? What is happening? Why it's happening? It's easy to say it's all the incumbents. It's them that's causing these banks to fail. It's crypto banks, the crypto-friendly banks. It is, but we have to be realistic and understand what the mechanics of it is. Why these banks had failed. What's being said. Well, as it is, if you've seen my videos previously, it's all about the 10-year yield and how the 10-year yield has an effect on all markets, including cryptos. All markets. Equities, commodities, derivatives, it weighs in on those. These government bonds and their yields, these government premium treasury bonds were brought up by SVB, at a rather expensive price. So they were quite literally paying a premium for these bonds and receiving an extremely low yield, something of 1 to 2%. Now, the reality is they probably brought this before the pandemic, before COVID. And as a result, yields were pretty low because things were quite stable. After the pandemic, trillions and trillions of dollars have been printed, devaluing the reserve currency, the world reserve currency, USD. Therefore, giving investors of bonds, governments around the world, banks around the world, central banks, less and less interest in these premium bonds and their yields as the dollar decreases in value, and more interest goes into buying precious metals, commodities, gold, silver. And it's evident because China's been buying gold up like there's no tomorrow. Russia's been buying gold up like there's no tomorrow, dumping their bonds. Obvious. As a result, depositors haven't been putting their money in these banks. And Signature Bank, SVB, have suffered the consequences of this. Because the fact is, they no longer have a product to sell to these businesses. They no longer have a decent interest rate to offer because they're simply not getting it back from their treasury bonds. And if they've got no product, they've got no income, no deposits, no collateral, no capital to pay and fund the business operations, and they fail. Fortunately, US government steps in to help out, but it's easy to think, easy to believe that big banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, have something to do with this. Of course, you know, you and I won't know. It could be, but this is the natural cycle of things, the natural ecology. And so when you realize this, it's not hard to understand, to see why right now as we speak, commodities will start moving up higher as people flock away from the dollar, from the bonds, Again, yields should rise. Investors flock into things like commodities like gold, cryptos. Prices go up higher and higher. The dollar falls lower and lower in value. Inflation continues to move higher, causing the government a big problem because they're already at their limit. Can they print anymore? They've got no choice. They can't keep raising interest rates. They can't keep this stagflation going. It's going to go one way or the other. Boom or bust. We really have to think, you know, this is a natural ecology. This is a natural cycle. We live in the Western world, we live in a boom and bust society. It's always been the way. That's always been the way of a capitalist system. Boom and bust. And, you know, if you want to know the mechanics of it, Ray Dalio explains it pretty well. Again, I did another video on Ray Dalio. You might want to watch that. Okay? Boom and bust. Now, going back to SVB, they are bust because depositors were not depositing money into their accounts. They don't have a product to sell to depositors. Okay? They can't get more capital coming in to sustain the business, to sustain the bank, because nobody's putting their money in the bank. And people are taking their money out. And then they're stuck with these expensive premiums that aren't generating any yield. And as a result, the bank fails. And obviously, government steps in with a package of some sort, of course. We don't know how far out this is going to go, but what's being said is that the big banks are buying up the smaller banks. And this has been the plan all along. Well, look, plan or not, it's just a natural cycle of things. Whether it's been planned or whether it's always been planned, if it's always been planned, it's the natural cycle of things, right? Causality. And let me just say this. The natural cycle of things is that technology will prevail. Technology is prevailing. We are at the dawn of a new financial system, and we are about to enter this new financial system with Web3, the internet, welded together as one with the financial system, blockchain, delivering what couldn't be delivered before, cross-border payments in fractions of a second, NFTs, smart contracts, payments being made as quick as emails, secure, fast, fraud resistant. These things could not be, these things are worth trillions when you comprehend the scale that it can cover. I just wanted to clear that up with you because, as I say, it's been a lot of talk and we need to set the record straight. I'm Nathan, aka Nathan of Zion. Smash the Zion coin up there, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day now. Take care.